You're paying more than you need to every time you grocery shop, and Aldi knows it. It's not because you're picking the wrong items. It's because you haven't seen the game being played behind the shelves. Aldi doesn't just sell cheap for fun. They've built an entire system designed to beat every other supermarket right from the starting line. From the 25-cent shopping cart to the no-nonsense checkout to those no-name products that quietly outperform big brands in blind taste tests. This video isn't about how cheap Aldi is. It's about showing you how other stores have been picking your pocket without you realizing it, and exactly how you can turn the tables starting with your very next shopping trip. You'll be awesome if you hit the like button for this video. 1. The expansion and the Aldi effect. Aldi didn't grow loud and flashy, but their expansion speed has forced the entire retail industry to adjust. Every new store that opens doesn't just give local shoppers another low-price option. It instantly triggers a wave of change. Nearby supermarkets are forced to drop prices, launch their own private labels, simplify displays, and slash costs just to keep customers. The remarkable part? Aldi barely advertises and rarely runs big promotions. They win with a rock-bottom cost structure, small stores, lean staffing, and a direct supply chain. When they consistently sell 20 to 30% cheaper day in and day out, competitors can't keep up with short-term tricks. Shoppers benefit even if they've never set foot in an Aldi, because the overall price level in town gets dragged down. 2. Pricing system, employees, and return policy. If you're used to big supermarkets, you wait for giant red sale signs and weekly shock discounts. Aldi does the opposite. Prices are adjusted quietly, cleanly, and at exactly the right moment. One day, an item is full price. The next day, it can drop noticeably just to keep inventory moving. No loyalty points, no coupon hunting. You just watch and buy at the right time. That simplicity makes saving feel natural and stress-free. What's fascinating is that speed and order don't come from machines. They come from people. Aldi employees handle multiple roles, but they're not paid dirt-cheap wages. Their pay is actually above industry average, so they focus on efficiency instead of just surviving the shift. When a store runs smoothly, mistakes drop and shopping feels effortless. And if something isn't right, Aldi handles it differently. Their return policy doesn't treat customers like they have to prove anything. It treats them as trusted. Full refund or exchange, fast, no arguments, no hassle. For Aldi, trust isn't a slogan. It's how they keep customers coming back for decades. 3. Timing your shopping decides how much you save. At Aldi, when you shop can matter as much as what you buy. The exact same product can cost noticeably less depending on whether you go a few hours earlier or later. Regular customers often choose weekday mornings when shelves have just been restocked and the store is still quiet. Produce is fresher, selection is better, and there's no crowding. Midweek, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, is when Aldi turns over inventory fastest. Older stock needs to move to make room for fresh arrivals, and that's when prices start softening. Patient shoppers notice the same item might drop a little today and even more tomorrow. Aldi doesn't encourage impulse shopping. They designed the store so people who understand the rhythm come out way ahead. When you learn to shop at the right moment, every trip to Aldi stops being just grocery shopping. It becomes a calculated way to keep more money in your wallet. 4. Aldi wine and beer. Many people walk past the Aldi alcohol aisle thinking, it's cheap, so it's probably just okay to drink. That exact mindset has caught a lot of people by surprise. Behind those modest-looking shelves is a completely different purchasing strategy. Aldi works directly with wineries and breweries, skips the flashy advertising, and sells everything under their own private labels. When you don't have to pay for brand names or marketing, the price drops dramatically while the quality stays the same. Quite a few Aldi wines have actually won awards in blind tastings, beating famous labels that cost 3 or 4 times more. The funny thing is, when the labels are hidden and people can only taste, price suddenly doesn't tell the whole story anymore. Aldi beers follow the same philosophy: easy drinking, consistent flavor, and a fair, everyday price. For anyone who wants to enjoy wine or beer without turning every dinner into a big expense, Aldi offers a very realistic option. You're not buying luxury vibes, you're buying real value in every glass. 5. The store design that's ugly on purpose. The first time you step into an Aldi, most people think the same thing. This place looks too plain, almost rough. No fancy lighting, no elaborate displays, and products still sitting in their cardboard shipping boxes. But that's not sloppiness. It's an extremely calculated choice. When items stay in the boxes they arrived in, employees don't waste time arranging them neatly. Stock hits the shelves faster, with fewer people, and labor costs drop significantly. Short aisles and fewer checkout lanes mean customers move quickly without being tempted to wander and impulse buy. Even the shelf height is planned so workers don't need ladders or extra equipment. Aldi knows most people don't come to the supermarket for the scenery. They come to grab what they need and go home. This ugly design keeps everything running smoothly, cuts down on mistakes, and saves every little cost possible. And when those savings are done right, the money ends up back in the shopper's pocket. 6. The European cultural influence behind Aldi's model. Aldi isn't just a discount supermarket chain. It carries a very distinctive European shopping mindset. You see it clearly in the compact store layout that favors quick, frequent trips instead of once-a-month mega hauls. With Aldi, grocery shopping isn't a long sightseeing trip. It's something you do fast, right? And just enough. European culture also shapes how Aldi selects products. Portion sizes are reasonable to reduce food waste, something many European households have practiced for generations. Instead of giant packs that often go bad, Aldi focuses on sizes you can actually finish while everything is still fresh. That's better for your wallet and encourages healthier, more balanced eating habits. 7. The Aisle of Shame. In the middle of a store that's usually so neat and disciplined like Aldi, the Aisle of Shame shows up as a tempting exception. It's that section right in the center where items you never planned to buy suddenly appear out of nowhere. One week it might be air fryers, the next gardening tools, then suddenly household gadgets or pet accessories. There's no fixed pattern, and that's exactly what makes it so irresistible. Aldi's strategy here is crystal clear. The items are brought in limited quantities and only sold for a short time. When shoppers know that if they don't grab it now, it'll be gone by next week, hesitation turns into action fast. Prices are usually way below market rates, enough to convince yourself, hey, this is a steal, I won't lose out. The Aisle of Shame isn't about filling your essentials, it's about that thrill of scoring a deal. It turns a simple trip for milk and bread into an adventure of discovery. For Aldi, it's a smart way to boost the value of every visit without any big ads. For shoppers, if you can keep control, it's a real treasure trove. But if you're not careful, your budget can easily get swept away by those "I wasn't planning to buy this, but it's such a deal" moments. Hit the like button if this surprised you. 8. Aldi isn't just cheap, it's going upscale. A lot of people still think Aldi is only good for basic items at rock-bottom prices. But in recent years, Aldi has quietly shifted in a whole new direction. They keep prices affordable while steadily improving product quality, so much so that shoppers can really feel the difference. From organic foods and vegan options to carefully selected ingredients, Aldi is no longer sitting out the eat well, eat clean trend. Their private labels like Simply Nature, Earthgrown, and Specially Selected are built for health-conscious customers and food lovers. The best part? Aldi doesn't chase trends with a lot of noise. They pick popular, best-selling items, buy in huge quantities, and keep prices low. This upscaling approach is totally different from other chains. No flashy displays, no luxury branding. Aldi lets the products prove themselves. Shoppers are starting to realize they can eat better without paying extra. And that quiet change has widened their customer base, turning Aldi from just a discount store into a smart choice even for picky eaters. 9. Private label quality that's proven. What makes some people hesitate about shopping at Aldi is those unfamiliar names on the packaging. No big brands, no heavy advertising. So it's totally understandable to feel a bit doubtful. But here's where Aldi does something most retailers don't dare. They put their private label quality head-to-head against big brands and only keep what passes the test. Before any Aldi-labeled product hits the shelves, it goes through multiple rounds of checks for taste, ingredients, and consistency. If it doesn't meet the standard, it's out, no matter how cheap. Thanks to this, many Aldi private label items have matched or even beaten famous brands in blind taste tests. When shoppers can't see the labels, they judge purely by flavor, and that's when true quality shines through. This consistency has built long-term trust for Aldi. Customers can try something new without much risk, knowing there's a clear return policy if it's not right. Over time, those private labels stop being backups and become the go-to choice. 10. Lightning fast checkout. One of the biggest surprises for first-time Aldi shoppers is the checkout line. Everything moves so fast that if you're not ready, you'll feel swept along by the employee's rhythm. It's not because they're rushing. It's the result of a system designed down to the smallest detail. Every product has multiple barcodes on different sides, so the scanner picks it up instantly with one swipe. No need to flip or search. Aldi doesn't bag items at the register either. Once scanned, everything goes straight back into your cart, and bagging happens at a separate area. This keeps the line flowing smoothly without backups from extra steps. The counters are set up for employees to work in smooth, familiar motions, efficient, accurate, and minimizing wait times. For shoppers, the speed means clear benefits: shorter lines, less waiting, and quicker trips than at traditional supermarkets. For Aldi, fast checkouts let them serve more customers without adding staff. It's a perfect example of how Aldi cuts costs smartly, turning every saved second into a direct win for you. 11. The 25-cent shopping cart system. For many first-timers at Aldi, standing in front of the locked-up carts can feel confusing. You have to insert a quarter to unlock one. It might seem inconvenient, but this small detail perfectly captures Aldi's operating philosophy. When customers put down their own deposit, they're motivated to return the cart to get their quarter back. The 25 cents isn't about making profit. It's about encouraging responsibility. Carts don't get abandoned or damaged as often, so they last longer. At other supermarkets, the costs for collecting, fixing, and replacing carts get quietly added to product prices. With Aldi, those costs are almost completely eliminated, and the savings go straight back to shoppers through lower prices. This system even creates a fun habit. If someone forgets their quarter, others often share one. That little coin becomes a way to connect with fellow shoppers. What starts as a minor hassle turns into an effective cost-saving tool, showing how Aldi uses simple, practical solutions to keep expenses down. 12. Real-life examples of true value. To truly understand Aldi's philosophy, forget the slogans and ads. Just look at a few actual products on the shelf. Take chocolate, for example. Many people used to believe great chocolate had to come from famous, expensive, beautifully packaged brands. But once they try Aldi's private label chocolate, tons of them realize the texture is silky, the flavor is rich and balanced, and it's honestly just as good, sometimes even easier to eat, as the big names, all at a fraction of the price. They don't cut corners with cheap oils or overload it with sugar. The ingredients stay solid. The same goes for everyday essentials: milk, butter, eggs, and pasta. There's nothing fancy about the presentation, but the quality is rock steady every single time you buy. You never worry that it'll be great today and mediocre next week. That consistency creates real peace of mind, the kind big brands spend millions in advertising to achieve. Aldi takes the opposite path. They let the product speak for itself. 13. Direct supply chain and the power of private labels. The biggest reason Aldi can keep prices sustainably low is their direct supply chain. Instead of going through layers of distributors, agents, and marketing companies, Aldi deals straight with manufacturers. Fewer steps mean far fewer extra costs. All the markups from roundabout shipping, commissions, and advertising are cut out from the very beginning. On top of that foundation, Aldi builds incredible strength with their private labels. By controlling the recipe, ingredients, and production standards themselves, they don't have to chase big brands or short-lived trends. Every item is made to meet real, everyday needs and sell steadily for years, not just create a quick buzz. Thanks to massive, long-term orders and strong relationships with producers, they get better prices while keeping quality perfectly consistent. For shoppers, the benefit is obvious. You pay for the product, not for ads or fancy packaging. Once an Aldi private label item nails taste, safety, and reliability, the name on the label stops mattering. 14. The core operating philosophy. If you had to sum up how Aldi survives and grows in one sentence, it's this: do only what needs to be done and skip everything that doesn't create real value. Aldi never tries to be the prettiest, biggest, or most luxurious supermarket. They chose to be the place where you spend the least on the things you actually need. Every decision, from store layout, product count, to opening hours, revolves around that single goal. You see it in all the attractive things they deliberately say no to. No complicated promotions, no thousands of overlapping brands, no huge investment in image. Instead, they standardize processes and keep everything simple to reduce errors and costs. When costs are low at the root, prices can stay low without sacrificing quality. Aldi knows today's smart shoppers care more about real value than about being pampered. The clean, fast, consistent experience feels good in a very practical way. This disciplined philosophy is exactly why Aldi expands sustainably across markets, keeps its unique identity, and earns long-term trust. 15. Self-checkout and the hidden technology. Many regular Aldi shoppers still haven't noticed that, but right next to the traditional registers there's a quieter option. Self-checkout kiosks. No big signs, no staff constantly guiding you. Aldi rolled out the tech in their usual low-key style. If you want it, it's there. If you prefer the old way, you can still join the normal line. But once people try it, the advantage is obvious. Aldi's self-checkout is designed to be stupidly simple, usable from the very first try. Big, clear buttons, very few steps, and super responsive scanners that rarely throw random errors. You scan and bag as you go. There's no need to wheel everything to a separate packing area like at the regular registers. Behind that simplicity is serious optimization. Faster scanners, lightweight software, and smart loss prevention that doesn't annoy honest customers. For Aldi, technology isn't for showing off. It's for saving time for both shoppers and the store. When customers handle more themselves, staff pressure drops and operating costs go down. Aldi didn't grow big by luck or short-term tricks. They grew through disciplined habits, cutting anything unnecessary and focusing only on real value for the shopper. Once you understand how Aldi really works, you realize saving money isn't about hunting sales. It's about choosing the right place to shop. Every little detail, from the cart system to checkout to private labels, is calculated so your money isn't wasted. And when you start shopping with that mindset, not only does your grocery bill shrink, but the way you think about spending changes too. Aldi isn't just a store. It's a daily lesson in shopping smarter. Which part of this video surprised you the most?